Hi everyone, this is a plant oracle, and I've already gone ahead and thrown the plants and the runes, and this reading is indicative of karma or a karmic relationship. So to start off, there's something about a hook. So whether a J hook is significant, fishing may be significant, but perhaps there was an obstacle, a delay, may have been beneficial. Overall, the theme of the last few days has been patience, almost like that Seven of Pentacles energy. There's a need for patience, no neediness, no excessive desire, lust, just being patient. But there is whether something's fishy or someone's fishing for something, there is new life. And it may be a little uncomfortable right now where you are, but know that this is part of growth. Get your house in order, chop wood, carry water. So let's start. The masculine and feminine are both in the shadows. Since I originally threw this oracle, the masculine, I believe, has moved on beyond maybe something that required a lot of strength that they were protecting. They may have moved beyond that. If that, I believe they've moved beyond it. A Leo may be significant, something that required a lot of strength and something they may have been protecting and keeping secret. Still in the shadows, but maybe where they were stuck in the past now, maybe they're in the now. Anyway, let's start. Let's continue on here. And the feminine may have been in some type of battle. There's been some type of competition, perhaps maybe the feminine wasn't even aware they were a part of. Someone was really trying to pull the strings, like keep them on, I'm hearing on the line, but also like marionette type energy. And feminine, maybe trouble sleeping, a lot of thoughts, overthinking. There's been a lot of anxiety. It could be about things that are hidden. There may be some type of change, something hidden behind the veil. Maybe the feminine can sense this. There's some type of anxiety related to something, whether it's coming out or there may be some message about that. Tell me a little bit more. And the feminine is in alignment with a victory. There may have been an awakening in the recent past. Energies are being harmonized, balanced. Yeah, there's a change in destiny, fortune, the wheel turns. And it's related to what the feminine has planted. Yeah, I have two wheels of fortune here. Karma. Related to what? To work. So it almost feels like a mixture of chemistry and metallurgy. Metallurgy may be significant. That's the first thing I felt. There's this grounded stability, nurturing, almost just somebody who has this energy that just beautifies everything they touch. Home may be significant. So those are the energies that the feminine, whether recognized at a soul level, that what's really important, awakened to maybe even reviewing, because there's a life review on all the things that have been accomplished, all the successes, maybe even reviewed all the failures. And as a result, just it's almost like they've just been mixed all together, but recognizing the beauty in it all. And this patience has allowed a change in destiny related to work. All right, let's talk about the masculine. So this has changed. I had a live where I processed this out. My juggler is coming out again. I say we're talking about the masculine. Yes, seven of swords energy. So sneaky, juggling, juggler, charming. I King of Pentacles is significant. Whether eating words, sneaky, could be protecting. Something they've created with a soulmate that may be significant. A King of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus may be significant. They're really focused on whether there's intentions of protecting. It could be related to Leo energy, or they were maybe protective in like held back mode, restraint. They were restraining themselves. And what were they protecting? It seems to be like something they're keeping their eyes on. It could be a new perspective. I'm seeing Emperor, Divine Masculine. Could be a friendship or a new perspective related to... There's this party of three, maybe parties of three break a found. Oh my, I love it. Don't you just love it? Oh my gosh. How parties of three break a foundation. So there may be a new perspective of this. Not that there's anything wrong with celebrating, but it could be protecting a friend who is a Pisces, or they have a new perspective about whether there was some type of foundation laid there was a crack in it related to three. So cracks related to parties of three. And maybe this awareness, there's a reason to celebrate now. Yeah, three again, three. Expanding beyond this. But it seems like, remembering this, the masculine was almost like in this pattern of almost being entranced by literally patterns of wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit ahead. Let's talk about spirit. Spirit points to regret, could be related to a mothering energy, Queen of Pentacles again, to juggling. Now holding something close to the chest. We have this energy again. Control. Regret with juggling and control. Capricorn may be significant. A father may be significant here. Tell me about this karma. This is where there's a pattern. So there's a pattern being repeated, whether it's a pattern of refusal, something that has you entranced, turning your back on spirit. Yes, there's a new perspective on this. Things have been turned upside down that have allowed a review of this. This has caused a lot of wounding, so a message from spirit. A lot of wounding. Could be patterns of unfaithfulness. Patterns of, I wrote this down. And you take that as it resonates. In relationship, turning your back on spirit, spirit offering you a cup from the universe, refusal, or has been a big, there's a big deer outside. A big sign. So deer, spirit animal may be significant, very large, 2 cardinals and a deer. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Just got sort of pulled away. Anyway, patterns of unfaithfulness. Something recalibrating. Neptune energy here, Pisces. I said message from spirit about this pattern. Okay, that almost had, it feels like the masculine is right here, totally blinded. And maybe they were just, something was so dormant. Masculine may also be in need of sleep, rest, dream. Tell me about this direction. Taking authority. Taking authority. Because there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. Taking authority, standing on your own 2 feet. There's abundance, prosperity, Virgo energy. But what's interesting is this, there is almost like this flow. It's almost like there's something pulling this energy or moving to a point where there's all these options, and then there is some type of breaking apart, something fiery, a flame, a flaming, almost like a goodbye, that, Knight of Wands, passionate message, that allows for something to be focused. And here is the energy of focused commitment. There's a moving on to calmer waters, taking authority. Divine masculine may be significant of their prosperity, inheritance, reward. This is also a card of being single. Nine of Pentacles is right before 10 of Pentacles is family, but there's something traditional, whether it's commitment. It requires, and they're showing me, I have Hermit here, again, of all the light being brought into the lantern, but then I'm also seeing all the possibilities. It's almost like everything's just almost collapsing into a pointed, perhaps this is a choice, because I am seeing that for the afternoon. A choice is key. King of Pentacles, which came up. This is the masculine energy. Can't remember. King of Pentacles. Could be into Queen of Cups. I may forget. I feel that those are the energies. A light is shown on this. A light is shown like a spotlight of truth that requires a lot of strength. And instead of taming the lion, becoming the lion. There's something about becoming the lion instead of the one taming the lion. A traditional tarot, there is a feminine taming a lion, but it seems like, and I'm going to look at the masculine, has switched place from being perhaps the tamer, not necessarily being tamed, but embodying. There's a duality with that. There's a balance there. There's some type of harmony within that card. Let me find it here. Maybe I can get a better understanding looking at it, or showing you at least. As I have one here. So your strength is being tested. Being confident, passionate, resilient, having courage and inner power, Leo. But, wait a second here. There's something about switching places. Left to right. Receptive to active. Yin to yang. There's some type of action. I'm going to say that's required. So anything else in closing here? Actually, let's just do one. What does the masculine need to know? Something about devotion. Devotion, I'm hearing give you my devotion. Something increasing the circulation, a devoted action, loyalty, observing promises. There's some type of domination. Something's dominating their thoughts that they're really trying to almost just sneak away with, or kind of this hanged man energy. It could be like an obsessive pattern. It dominates thoughts, but also patterns of behavior that are maybe have risen to the surface. It's essential. Something that's essential. There's some type of choice that's essential. So the lovers are significant. Tell me about the feminine energy. So they've been in a battle. Someone's been trying to pull their strings. A lot of anxiety about what's been hidden behind the veil. There's a lot of beauty here with the feminine. Beauty. And that's their essence. This was the bottom of the deck for the masculine too. The essence, refining, bringing beauty. Maybe we've had to fight for that, to just be in their feminine. Had to fight just to be in their feminine. There's always someone trying to pull the strings and not allowing like this beauty to surface. It's really a shame. That's what it feels to me. Like, not that someone should be carrying shame, but the amount of control that almost didn't allow a beauty to just exist and be. But there's victory here. There's a feminine's coming to alignment, and perhaps this part of themselves, the feminine part of themselves, is awakening, and there's more balance now. Be patient with yourself. You're the feminine here. Be patient, especially if it has something to do with work. I think we're going to end there. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Please, I appreciate your subscription. It does help get this video out there more and supports my channel, A Woman in Business. And please remember to like, and I'll see you all soon.